Good evening to all. I am happy to be here in the Valedictory Ceremony of Tourism Students Festival 2020, which was a highly required activity in India. I congratulate New Tourism Foundation for organizing this gainful activity at a time when there is stress and depression all around. It is our duty to keep the future torchbearers of our country in good health and spirit both. As all of us know, this COVID-19 pandemic has adversely affected the hospitality and tourism industry all over the world. Not only India, but all over the world. I am confident that we will emerge out of the difficulties of COVID-19. But meanwhile, we should concentrate on future course of action. And this is exactly what Tourism Students Festival has done. It is essential to understand that both industry and academia need each other for their successful existence and growth. Areas of similar interest have to be identified. Industries have funds but lack time, while the academic institutions lack funds but have ample time, expertise, and can be an excellent source of new ideas. India should take the lesson from US industries, where they reach out to academic institutions to bring innovation and creativity in their work. I am delighted that TSF succeeded in bringing academia, industry, and students together. The variety of wonderful activities organized and participation by students all over India, their interaction with industry experts and renowned academicians is a massive step taken by a new tourism foundation. I thank them for extending a friendly hand towards academic institutions. I hope that this is the new beginning where tourism industry and academic institutions will join hands for a bright future of both. Ministry of Tourism has patronized Tourism Students Festival to a great extent, and with the continued support of Ministry of Tourism, the tourism industry and education institutions will march towards overall excellence. Tourism has such great scope in India. We still have not been able to fully tap our tourism potential. Congratulations to organizers, especially Mr. Sunil Gupta, Mr. Vinod Zushi, Mr. Sanjay Soni from New Tourism Foundation and participants, especially students. Wishing everyone healthy, happy and successful times ahead. Thank you so much.
Namaskar and good afternoon. Distinguished dignitaries, eminent panelists, distinguished speakers, stakeholders, students, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to the valedictory session of the Tourism Students Festival 2020 being organized by New Tourism Foundation. This festival is a first ever initiative at the national level to focus on the education sector in tourism, bringing together students and academia into an interface with the industry and the government with the view to prepare for the challenges of the new normal. The New Tourism Foundation aims to act as a think tank to provide policy and strategic inputs and options to union government, state governments and the tourism industry, and to also organize tourism promotion activities such as seminars, marts, exhibitions, workshops, conferences, and roundtable discussions. The foundation also aims to create awareness among people for preservation of cultural and natural heritage tourism of India, and to also engage in curating, assisting, supporting, developing, restoring, and managing tourism products in the field of heritage, nature, adventure, luxury, ecotourism, wildlife, cruises, rural, medical and wellness, and other theme-based tourism, with a view to augmenting the impact of India tourism within the country and globally, and to facilitate holistic development of India tourism. New Tourism Foundation, an ideating advocacy and tourism promotion forum was set up, and New Tourism Foundation has been established as a registered trust for public charitable objects. New Tourism Foundation is being led by the team comprising of tourism experts from the government, hospitality, travel trade, IT and the media, and is headed by Mr. Vinod Zuchi, IAS, retired, former Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, as the President of the New Tourism Foundation and also now the Chairman, TSF 20. Mr. Sunil Gupta, Secretary General, New Tourism Foundation. Mr. Ravi Arora is Vice President, Finance. Mr. Architect Sanjay Soni is Director, Marketing and Communications and Vice Chairman, TSF 20. Ms. Raka Singh is the advisor. Ms. Rakesh Mathur is the advisor, New Tourism Foundation. Mr. E.M. Najib is advisor with New Tourism Foundation. And also Mr. Tarun Thakrale is advisor with New Tourism Foundation. The team of New Tourism Foundation has worked tirelessly to organize this festival on a virtual platform in accordance with the new normal. The Tourism Students Festival also aims to focus on the academic needs, career challenges, training, skilling issues, and future prospects of the students to the market practices to make them more resilient to deal with the new global order. And towards this, we have had many interesting, informative, and meaningful sessions with participation from the government, tourism associations, and academia. The festival also had a recognizable international participation from across the globe. Today at the valedictory session, we have the privilege of having with us Mr. Vinod Suchi, IAS, former Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, President, New Tourism Foundation, and Chairman, Tourism Students Festival 2020, will be presenting the valedictory address. And our other distinguished dignitaries present here with us today are Mr. P.P. Khanna, President, Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. A warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Rakesh Mathur, President, Responsible Tourism Society of India. A warm welcome. Captain Swadesh Kumar, President, Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. A warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. E.M. Najib, Senior Vice President, Indian Association of Tour Operators. Warm welcome to you, sir. Mr. Sunil Gupta, is not present here today. Mr. Sanjay Soni, Vice Chairman, TSF 20. A very warm welcome to you also, sir. And now to begin with the proceedings, I have the privilege in inviting Mr. E.M. Najib, Senior Vice President, Indian Association of Tour Operators and Advisor, New Tourism Foundation, for your address, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sapna Gupta. Thank you very much. Distinguished leaders of the tourism industry and New Tourism Foundation, Sir Vinod Sushi sir, Rakesh Mathur sir, Captain Swadesh Kumar, Mr. Sanjay Soni, and Mr. Khanna ji. Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here to say a few words on this occasion of the valedictory function of this New Tourism Students Festival. I think we had a good participation for this Students Festival, which has been very well organized under the leadership of Vinod Sushi sir. And I'm so happy that all the leaders, under the able and dynamic support of, Sanjay Soni and his team for conducting this with the guidance and, complete framework and, framework of, Sushi sir as well as others. I think I'm sure that this, there are a lot of speakers of, international reputation have joined together and addressed the students on various subjects. I'm sure that students have been benefited out of this, various sessions. And tourism is actually, as far as I'm concerned, always a very passionate subject for me, in which I've been working for the last 4 decades. And the students who are looking for a future career in tourism, I'm sure that this, these deliberations will be beneficial for them, and they will definitely, take the advantage of this very intellectual speeches and studies which have been conducted at various levels and presented for their benefits. Let me once again thank you for this opportunity and wish all the students, the very best. And we are looking forward, at least majority of the students to come as a professional leaders of the tourism industry in the coming years. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite Captain Swadesh Kumar, President ADTOI, to kindly give his address. Over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Vinod Joshi and my fellow colleagues at the dais. It is a great pleasure and privilege for me to speak to you, especially my congratulations to the New Tourism Foundation, who do an extremely good job and filling a void, communicating between the industry professionals and the government. My compliments. Adventure Tour Operators of India, of which I represent, even though we are only 500 plus members, in fact, I represent almost 15,000 members across the country, because most of them are in unorganized sector. We are trying very hard to see that we bring them into the organized fashion, but so far we've not succeeded. I also would like to share with you that the definition of adventure tourism is very simple, and that is that the three components of this: the nature, the activity, and the people. And any two of them are there, it becomes adventure tourism. That means it's so simple. And today, after the COVID-19 problem, which is still on, we are finding solutions and things like this. We all believe that domestic tourism is going to grow, and within domestic tourism, nature tourism will be the cornerstone. I would believe that if you look at it, people are going to different nature quarter like Manali, Simla, and faraway places in Arunachal, in Himachal Pradesh, and as well as in Uttarakhand. So this is how the situation is. I also would like to explain to you the three kind of within the adventure tourism. We call it a land-based, air-based, as well as water-based, and there are 28 verticals which are duly recognized by all of us, and we're focusing on those regions, with ensuring that safety standards are important. India has got almost over 7,500 kilometers of coastline. Our Himalayan range, we're two-thirds of Himalayas in India. And so much of this desert, huge desert is around here, and so many possibilities in this country, that we are blessed country, being one of the 17 mega diverse countries of the world. Each state of India has the potential to become a center of excellence in nature and adventure tourism. Young boys and friends, I want to tell you something very interesting. Is this that reskill is the question today, is the dharma of today. Frequent technology changes makes the shorter shelf life of a skill. So you have to ensure, and also college education is not enough. You have to adopt the digital marketing, cloud computation, and so many other things you have to work if you have to survive in this world. Also, one more advice I would like to give to young students, and that is, please do not run for jobs. There are no jobs available in the market. You have to be entrepreneur from your heart. And if you're entrepreneur from the heart, you'll find ways and means. I also must tell you that I'm not saying only for the sake of saying it. The one way to do is to cooperate with them. You 5 friends of you together, join hands together, make a cooperative movement, and see you can do some tours where you are specializing in it, and talk to the industry, talk to people. You have now Facebook, Twitter, so many social handles are here. Come out, be an entrepreneur, and try to find new ideas and things like this. So I think cooperation among your friends will be the best way to move forward. And with these words, I wish you good luck. I pray for your success. I also pray you will remain healthy and safe, and look after your parents, look after your relatives, and look after everyone. And I hope we'll go through this present crisis of COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your words of wisdom and very sound advice for the students in the tourism sector. And now moving on, ladies and gentlemen, may I invite Mr. Rakesh Mathur, President Responsible Tourism Society of India, to kindly share his views at the valedictory session. Over to you, sir.
Kenji, unmute yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Ms. Gupta. Good afternoon to my honorable fellow panelists and to all the boys and girls and young students who are listening to this valedictory function. A very warm welcome to you all. The Responsible Tourism Society of India was earlier known as the Ecotourism Society of India. And as you may have heard earlier in the lectures that preceded this valedictory function, it was renamed because when we spoke about the Ecotourism Society, the general connotation or the image that came into people's minds was about nature and environment. Now, that is not true. Ecotourism means environment friendly tourism, and it is much larger than just natural habitat. If you take a macro view, it covers urban and city hotels also. What sustainable practices are they following? A second aspect that was important was that every kind of tourism, in order to be responsible and sustainable, must benefit the local community. The third aspect was that there must be engagement with differently abled people if they can be fixed into different kind of jobs which suit their ability. Then there was this aspect of protection of weaker sections of society, namely women and children. And also, finally, local versus imported. What benefits local society, whether how much you should promote local art, local handicraft, local culture, etc., local food, local cuisines, and so on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we decided to change the name to Responsible Tourism, which covers all these aspects. Now, I would be failing in my duties if I added a few words, if I did not add a few words of advice in this valedictory function. I think it is important for all students to know that tourism is, if not the largest, a very large producer of pollutants, affluents, and garbage. And it becomes, therefore, our responsibility to be aware of this and to indulge in practices which kind of bring about some kind of harmony in the overall experience to the tourist, whereby we indulge in responsible practices like segregation of garbage, banning plastics. You must have seen how plastic water bottles are being thrown about. Carry your own flask, filled water with AquaGuard water. Banish plastic packaging. There is already a big movement against plastic straws, drinking straws. Make environment sustainability and responsible practices a habit. Concepts of reusing, recycling, reducing should become a lifestyle. I mean, I just want to give you an example that every morning, every day, when I go through sheets and sheets of paper, before throwing them, I always look at the other side whether I can reuse them. Recycle paper. Recycle. Look at, for example, stapling pins. People are in the habit of stapling an envelope 3, 4, 5 times. How much of embedded energy are you wasting? Now, this is a very small thing that I'm talking about, but just look at the tons and tons of steel which is being wasted purely in stapling. So make it a habit. Every small thing matters, every little drop in the ocean. The question is, also look at what is need versus what is greed. Do not indulge in unnecessary conspicuous consumption. I'll give you a very small example. In America, the size of food, if you order a portion of let's say French fries, it is approximately twice the size of what you would get here. And why was that done? That was done to earn a higher revenue per portion. Now, what is the net effect? If you are aware, there is a study which has shown that 40% of the food in America is wasted, thrown into the gutter. And of course, we all are aware of the weight problem that that country is suffering from. Look at concepts of comfort versus luxury. What is the price that you are paying for luxury? I am not against luxury. What I'm saying is, if there is a huge environmental price being paid for it and costing, creating a huge carbon footprint, then that luxury is not worth it. Another important thing is be a responsible traveler. When you travel, it's not just about us people who are service providers. It's also about us people when we travel. Be responsible. Don't throw things into the countryside. Don't, if you go to any hill station or you are all aware of how things are thrown. You'll find them thrown in small ravines. Our oceans are full of plastic. So this responsible traveler is another very, very important. There should be a code of conduct for the responsible traveler. Educate others. Don't feel shy of giving back to society. Then there is a question of safe and honorable tourism. I don't know whether you are aware that there is a pledge of sustainable tourism and a code of conduct for safe and honorable tourism, which was adopted by the Ministry of Tourism. I would urge you all to familiarize yourself with all this. It is all available on different websites, including our RTSOI website. Leave the destination wherever you go cleaner than when you went there. And Mr. Captain Sudesh Kumar spoke about, all the prospects of adventure tourism. Our sites are beautiful. This country is endowed with beautiful places. Just remember that we have to be very, very careful about the carrying capacity of each destination. Carrying capacity to in a very lay manner simply implies that the destination must be able to accommodate the kind of load that is being put on that. And it must have, if you talk in terms of a jungle or a wildlife or a nature destination, it must have time to recoup, to rejuvenate itself. Please share best practices. Do not hide your best practices as some secret that you want to keep to yourself. Share your environmental best practices with your friends and your colleagues as you step out into the industry. Think long term. Think whether something that you are doing, anything that you are doing, is it going to damage the environment or is it going to give me huge profits? And if you are running after short-term profits at the
फाइल चेक कर ली थी ना, वो सही थी, उन्हें करेक्शन करा दी थी, तो इसको उस पे
I'm sorry. If you are running after short-term, pardon this intrusion, if you are running after short-term profits at the cost of long-term sustenance, then there is something very wrong that you would be doing. Ladies and gentlemen, become the change. Be part of the change. And I think it was Mr. Obama who once said that this is perhaps the last generation that has an opportunity to reverse global warming. And therefore, this matter is now of utmost importance and it should become a part of everybody's life. One of my colleagues had a very interesting thing to say, कि अगर इस अर्थ को नहीं बचाओगे तो अनर्थ हो जाएगा. What a combination of English and Hindi, earth versus anarth, which simply means disaster if you translate anarth into English language. With these final words, I would urge you all to become totally responsible tourist service providers and tourists and citizens. And I would also request you to please go through the RTSOI website, which is rtsoi.org, and become student members. It's very, very inexpensive, but it will give you access to a lot of knowledge, information, and best practices. Thank you so much.
Sapna, unmute yourself. Sapna, unmute. Sapna, unmute.
So thank you very much indeed, sir. for that wonderful address, and once again reminding all the tourists about their responsibilities as a tourist when they are traveling. And may I now invite Mr. P.P. Khanna, President, Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India, to kindly share his views. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sapna, and good afternoon to all the panelists and speakers leading this India tourism, the platform where exactly you are giving a lot of knowledgeable, the sessions to the students, not only to the students, even to all the fraternity, those who have joined our lot of webinars, and they have got a lot of knowledge about that, how to survive and how to revive and how to thrive into the tourism. But everybody knows that travel will never die from people's mind, that's for sure. And the people have started, and as you know, the pandemic has really taught us a lot of things about the discipline and how to walk and even how to talk. And with the mask, with the hand gloves, with the sanitizations, these things are really giving us a lot of opportunities to in ourselves to make a disciplined person. As you know, the domestic tourism is the backbone of Indian tourism, and under the EDTY banner, we have done a lot of knowledge sessions like the Indian tourism. You people have done that, and we are very thankful to all the members and the fraternity, those who have joined that and taken a lot of knowledge about the states, about the hotels, and they are benefited out of that during this pandemic time, and because they were free, so we thought not to how to do the knowledge session with them. And domestic tourism, as you know, everybody is the leader in Indians, not only in India, in the globally. And we number three, India is number three. That now has reached number two after China, which is starting now the domestic tourism. And our domestic tourism has always touched about 1.85 billion, whereas our population is, everybody knows, 1.3 billion. If the situations are very well managed, and that India, and for the time being, now the states are opening their doors to visit and to welcome. The Himachal has opened, Goa has opened, and other states are also thinking. Only the thing is that there is no kind of a uniformity in the current time. So that has to be considered first of all. That's all the states that they should bring as with all the, they should adhere to all the guidelines along with the hotels, and like our own Prime Minister, who's already talking about that every citizen should visit 15 destinations by 2022 when we are completing our 75 years of independence. So that's the best part. He's our own brand ambassador for promoting the domestic tourism in India, and also, our tourism minister has also announced 2021 as a Dekho Apna Desh, which is a domestic tourism year. So that's the best thing to Apna Desh, and to see Apna Desh and to explore Apna Desh. That's like Mr. Mathur also said, it is our responsibility, and that how to make it clean, and how we should not leave everything on the stage. Even the locals are also responsible for all this, how to make the sustainable tourism into India, and with a good environment. That is the best thing. And students should learn how to make India a great India, incredible India, and they should also, concentrate on the tourism ethics, which is very, very, very important. Ethics with the attitude and with the etiquettes. So these are the things which students have to learn from the root level, and no doubt, I mean, the India will be the global leader if we really adhere all to this. So it's my suggestion to all the students that exactly please whenever you go for the studies, please use all these ethics of the tourism and also see the attitude, like Captain also said, please respect the elders and respect your parents and respect your all the relatives and the friends also. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the valedictory address, we have with us Mr. Vinod Suchi, IAS, retired, former Secretary, Ministry of Tourism, Government of India, and President, New Tourism Foundation, also the Chairman of the Tourism Students Festival 2020. We all know Mr. Zutshi's commitment towards the tourism in India has always been admirable, and the tourism sector saw a marginal growth during his tenure as the Secretary Tourism. And now I have the proud privilege in requesting you, sir, to kindly present your valedictory address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Sapna. Good afternoon and welcome the guests present in the Valedictory Ceremony of Tourism Students Festival 2020, organized by New Tourism Foundation. Mr. Rakesh Mathur, Mr. P.P. Khanna, Captain Swadesh Kumar, Mr. E.M. Najib, Mr. Sanjay Soni. I also welcome all the viewers and attendees, and especially dear students and young professionals who may be watching this session. And this session also marks the closing of the two-day festival organized with the objectives to engage government, tourism, academicians, practicing managers, industry thought leaders on a single platform to enthuse confidence among students and young professionals during the current testing times caused by COVID pandemic, and to look for new job opportunities for the youngsters of the sector in the new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, education and human resource development in tourism has never come in focus as much as it is required. If we want to shape the future of tourism, we have to shape the young minds of this sector. Let us not forget that the industry leaders of today were students of yesterday, and the students of today shall be the industry leaders of tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in an age where only knowledge and experience would not suffice. Tourism is a profession, and therefore everyone in this sector has to be professional. Being professional does not only mean following a particular profession as a permanent career. Being professional is characterized by adhering and conforming to the technical and ethical standards of the profession. Being a profession also means exhibiting a courteous, conscientious, and business-like manner in the workplace. And therefore, ladies and gentlemen, education in tourism is important to bring in professionalism. The initiative of New Tourism Foundation to organize this event is a small step in this direction. Friends, apart from bringing tourism education to center stage, this mega event has succeeded to a very large extent in meeting the objectives of bringing together all stakeholders of tourism sector on one platform and under one umbrella. With almost 200 speakers from across the spectrum of tourism world, from tourism ministry, from state tourism boards, from tourism associations, international organizations, industry leaders, universities, tourism educational institutions, all were part and parcel of this mega event. To name a few notable organizations and associations and eminent industry leaders, we had officials of the Ministry of Tourism, we had officials from the National Council of Hotel Management and Catering Technology, from the State Tourism Board of Madhya Pradesh, from ITDC, from ASI, from tourism associations, we had RTSOI, TAAI, THSC, PRCI, IATO, Adventure Tour Operator Association, Association of Domestic Tour Operators, Overseas Travel Association. We had international speakers, and to count a few, Dr. Harold Goodwin, an expert and authority on responsible tourism. We had Ms. Sarah Matthews from TripAdvisor. We had Dr. Paul Rogers of Planet Happiness. From academia, we had IITTM, we had Institute of Hotel Management, we had Food Corporation of India, we had Galgotia University, we had Aligarh Muslim University, we had Banaras Hindu University as our partners and also speakers. And among the leading industry leaders, to name a few, we have Mr. Manjeet Singh Gill, we had Mr. Prateek Hira, Mr. Himmat Anand, Mr. Vakaria, Mr. Baby Matthew, Priya Singh, Mandeep Singh Soinji, Naveen Rizvi, Sudhir Sopti, Rakesh Wazir, Steve Borgia, Shobha Mohan, and all those who are present in the valediction. The festival was also, ladies and gentlemen, one of its kind in having more than 25 interactive sessions. And the topics of these sessions covered almost all possible themes, segments, and subjects, which are relevant to all stakeholders of tourism in India and abroad, including for the students and young professionals. To name a few notable ones, TSF 20 had sessions on responsible tourism as integral part of new normal, journalism and its role in tourism, destination planning, marketing and management, skilling for new normal, academia, industry partnerships for new tourism education, gastronomy tourism, the unexplored USP of India, Dekho Apna Desh for Atmanirbhar tourism, new national tourism policy, a game changer for India, tourism entrepreneurship, and revolutionizing travel and tourism through technology. Ladies and gentlemen, I must also appreciate the overwhelming response that has come from students of tourism from all over the country in the manner of registering for this event. We had more than 1,300 registered attendees, out of which majority were students. Some tourism education institutions, in fact, they even went out of their way to sponsor the students for registration. Ladies and gentlemen, the deliberation and innovative ideas made by these 200 plus renowned professional speakers in the event are going to be a knowledge repository for the students, for young professionals, and of course for the industry as well. We are going to permanently place this knowledge treasure on the website of New Tourism Foundation and on YouTube for use by one and all. Ladies and gentlemen, I am overwhelmed by the success of this event, both in terms of meeting its objective and in getting the support from all stakeholders, both in government and private space. On behalf of New Tourism Foundation, I convey my thanks and gratitude to one and all who have extended all possible cooperation and support for the success of this event. In fact, the success of this event is due to the collective endeavor of one and all. I also convey my appreciation to Ms. Jyoti Mayal and Mr. Prateek Hira for accepting the request of New Tourism Foundation to be the co-chairperson of the Tourism Students Festival 2020. And I am extremely thankful for the efforts made by Team New Tourism Foundation and would like to place on record my deep appreciation for Mr. Sanjay Soni, the Vice President of NTF, for his tireless efforts to make this event a big success. On this occasion, ladies and gentlemen, I would also like to assure the tourism world that New Tourism Foundation is committed to be a friend, to be a guide, and a knowledge partner of the industry, of the government, of the academia, and of the students, and will continue to organize knowledge events like these with the cooperation and support of all stakeholders. With these words, I conclude my address and convey my best wishes to one and all for a spectacular beginning of the process of revival of tourism in India and in the entire world. And before I close, I would also like to assure the young students and professionals of this sector that there is no need for being despondent about the effects of COVID crisis. Tourism will bounce back sooner than later. And once again, India shall attain commanding heights in the world of travel and tourism. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for that most insightful valedictory address. And now, to propose the vote of thanks, I would like to invite Mr. Sanjay Soni, Vice Chairman, TSF 20 and Director Marketing and Communications, New Tourism Foundation. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sapna. Thank you, Sapna. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Sapna. Am I not available?
No, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, could you mute because the screen didn't change. We'll edit this part. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, because I don't see myself on screen. That's very strange.
We can see you, sir.
Okay, fine. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very good evening. I'm honored to propose the vote of thanks. Respected President of New Tourism Foundation, I begin my heartfelt gratitude to you for setting the ball rolling. Sapna, I think you'll have to mute it because I think there's a little sound from there and I can't be seen on screen. Yeah. Sir, Vinod sir, आप भी करेंगे एक बार. Yeah, hello. Right. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, a very good evening. I'm honored to propose the vote of thanks. Respected President, the New Tourism Foundation, I begin by expressing my thanks to you for getting the wheels rolling in the first place. The past few weeks have just been a blur as we all race through an array of activities, and since the tourism festival is one of its kind, which had no role model to fall back on, we all really had to pool our all resources and creativity to bring to you all this unique event in the history of tourism in India. Today, it's resulted in 300 plus hours of most brilliant stories, 200 plus tourism superheroes, speakers across 25 verticals, lay bare their souls, dreams, inspiration, journeys across 25 verticals of tourism profession. It added on every moment as the team worked tirelessly, innovating the concept of the event, and with feedbacks being received from our think tank at TSF 20, comprising of travel trade representation and academicians. As the festival gathered momentum with our social presence, having today crossed 25 lakhs and total impressions of 35 lakhs on social media. This is what brought life into the virtual event. Thank you to our think tank for hours of brainstorming, patience, and your support. At New Tourism Foundation, we believe knowledge is an ultimate resource. I would like to thank all moderators, speakers who have made out their time from the busy schedules to help build this knowledge repository today for students understand various subjects at length. Thank you to various tourism institutions who have supported TSF 20 at this event. A big thank you to tourism associations, which all came forward to support our activities. TAI, ADTOI, OTOI, Tourism Hospitality Skill Council, RTSOI, PRCI, Public Relations Council of India, ITDC, and Urja Energy. We had unique incentive partners in Pride Hotel, Le Méridien, and Heritage Transport Museum, who are giving us prizes and entries for our giveaways during our quizzes and other activities. Thank you, Telegram, for being a media partner. Thank you, Org Traveler, Smartech, Initiative Humanity, our startup partners from out of the box ideas. Also, a big thank you for entrance for our other entertainment events like Open Mic, Graffiti Lounge, Photo Gallery, Travel Quiz, Yogacharya Pradeep Swami for a session on mindfulness, our unexplored talent of music, comic, storytelling session that kept us entertained through the evening of day one. It's your innocence and freshness that brought life into a virtual event. Special thanks to our Honorable Minister Shri Prahlad Singh Patelji for his leadership, support along with his team, Mr. Rupinder Barar, Ms. Meenakshi Sharma ji, Mr. Rakesh Verma, Mr. Gyan Bhushan, and other various department heads who heard us and supported us through our endeavor. Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan for being destination partners. Mr. Suman Billa for extending all support and perspective in this event. I wish to thank all my colleagues who worked unstintingly to bring this dream project into a reality. Special thanks to Tushar Kesharwani, our youngest member at the foundation. I have reserved the best for the last. The event would not have been possible if there were not students of tourism. A group of 45 plus students from Galgotia, AMU, BHU, and other universities across the country, they all formed a group and kept on propagating the entire event all through the last 2-3 months. We thank you and wish you our success for your careers. New Tourism Foundation will be back in 2021 with a TSF again, a bigger, bolder, and an on-ground event. Thank you again. Namaste.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for kindly proposing the vote of thanks. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanking each one of you for your participation. We once again thank all our eminent panelists for the wonderful discussions and addresses we had from them. And of course, not forgetting our students for their participation in this event. We close the proceedings of the Tourism Students Festival 2020. Looking forward to seeing each one of you again, hopefully not on a virtual platform. Would be a pleasure to meet physically, but this indeed was a very, very nice experience. Didn't feel like it was not a real event, but a virtual event, wonderfully organized by the foundation. Thank you very much indeed. Once again, looking forward to seeing you all next year in 2021. Signing off now from Tourism Students Festival 2020.